welcome. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. This is Rare Diaries. This is my second attempt at making this video. As you can see, I am outside eating a bag of popcorn. It's a nice day, so this is going to be more of a conversational type video, so there's no pressure. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. I apologize for the noise. I'm outside, the birds are chirping, we got people cutting grass. So I apologize. But I'm just going to get into it. Not beating around the bush. So I have a rare disease or disorder. And I consider this disorder to be an invisible illness. Meaning you can't see it on the outside. People often don't know that I am living with a rare disease, or those that interact with me, they don't know. It's not obvious. So my rare disease is male Turner Syndrome, also called Noonan Syndrome. And let me just say, Turner and Noonan Syndrome are two separate conditions, but they're like brothers. That's why Noonan Syndrome is referred to as male Turner Syndrome, because they have, if not all, the same characteristics and signs. They are two childhood growth disorders. The difference is Turner Syndrome only affects girls, and Noonan Syndrome can affect girls and boys. So that's the thing. That's what separates them. And then I think it's some other technical stuff I'm not going to get into, but yeah, so it's a rare disease. It's a genetic disease, meaning one parent gave it to me. So, yeah. And let me just say, there are many, many, many different types of growth disorders. Growth disorders, in my opinion, are very common, but there's so many of them. And Turner Syndrome, in my opinion, people have heard more about Turner Syndrome than Noonan Syndrome, because it's more of an older condition that affects girls and with short stature, and I feel most people have heard of it. But Noonan Syndrome, maybe not. But if you know what Turner Syndrome is, then you know what Noonan Syndrome is. So yeah. So let me go back. So I was diagnosed, and this is an approximate age, between 5 and 6 years old. the pediatrician that I had was concerned at the rate of how fast I was growing compared to my peers. I think I was growing at an extremely slow rate, or either I wasn't growing at all. And so she referred me to a geneticist and then to an endocrinologist, and they, examined and concluded that I have Noonan Syndrome. And the primary concern, like I said, the basis of diagnosing me was, number one, growth, short stature. Right away, I think they could test that I had a growth disorder. They were able to prove that with a test, I think, that I had a growth disorder. And then the other basis that they diagnosed me on was physical characteristics that most people with Noonan syndrome have. And I also would like to say that, some people may have more of a, I say, milder case, or milder to severe, I would say. But that doesn't mean that you don't have it. I feel like, particularly with Noonan syndrome, that it affects everyone differently. Like, not one person may have all the same symptoms that the next person has. We're all different, but the primary, characteristics we're gonna have is short stature. I'm under 5 feet. I'm part of the under 5 feet club. So that's that. What else? And I also want to say that we're all gonna have persons with Noonan syndrome. We're all gonna pretty much have let this bus go by. We're all gonna pretty much have a huge care team full of specialists, which I have. I have to see specialists yearly, just to keep up, with my health and things that are going on. Oopsies, I don't want to drop that. But yeah, So that's what I want to say with that. And then I want to go, because I'm not going to talk too much about the symptoms, because that's what the internet is for. I'm not a doctor. I'm still learning, to be honest. I feel like, and this is this is kind of sad. And this is what I've seen with a lot of conditions that start off like in childhood, is that there's a lot more research being done on children. They have more resources. There's more like knowledge on the disease and the symptoms that you would have, and but they don't really study older patients like they should. And that's been my case, because it's like every time I have a new symptom, the doctors are like, they may be clueless, because they're like, oh, well, we haven't looked at this before, so right now I've been dealing with joint pain. I've been dealing with joint pain for this is something in recent years, within the last year and a half, I guess. I didn't have it when I was younger, but I've had back pain. I've had foot pain. I've had to see back specialists and foot specialists. But then my symptoms with my back pain, they said it stems from the foot, actually. So I guess. But then I also do have a mild case of scoliosis, so then I'm confused. So you're saying I don't get it, but yeah. I've always had back pain, I've always had foot pain, and I've seen orthopedic doctors, and I guess it's just like how my body, like how as things are structured. Like my feet are structured, I guess. Like the joints and connective tissues, I guess. I'm just more prone to injuries. I'm more prone to foot pain. And then that causes my back to hurt, and it's just a cycle of never ending. And all they want to tell you is take medication, take pain meds, like for real. And I've went to physical therapy once. It seemed to not even help my foot. It made the pain, it made it worse to me. Like it made my injury prone foot worse, in my opinion, for some reason. But yeah, so in recent years, the number one thing I've been dealing with, oh my gosh, is pain associated with fatigue. Like I was diagnosed with, well, I don't know if this is a diagnosis yet, but chronic fatigue is what some doctor told me that I'm may have. I think my fatigue is getting better. It also could be just like weather changes and everything. Like I have to be in a warm climate. I'm always cold. Like when I tell you I'm always cold, it could be 60 degrees and my hands are cold. I went to a rheumatologist. They don't seem to think I have, any autoimmune problem. They think it's more nerve related. So that's what I have to go see a neurologist. So maybe it's gonna be that. But yeah, pain is the number one problem for me these days. Um, and like the overall joint pain that I've been having in recent years is 100%. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of tricky to say, but I think it's due to like the previous work that I did. I worked in nursing. I was a part of the staff, and that job was so rigorous. That job affected my mental and physical health, and I had to, go see doctors, take time off, and then they fired me because they were like, we can't accommodate, we need a person here. Like, we're sorry, this is what you're dealing with, but we need somebody here. So, yeah. This video is 16 minutes. I'm doing good. What else do I want to say? Yeah, so I don't work right now. I'm unemployed. Not by my choice, but because my last employer fired me. Yeah, it's just pain that I'm dealing with these days. And then there's also the mental health side of things. I have some cognitive deficits, I would say. I'm trying to watch my word choice here. But yeah, I guess I'm considered neurodivergent. So yeah, I would say that. And I used to, a huge part of my life in my teenage years. So while I wasn't dealing with a lot of pain, I was dealing with mental health matters. So I had social anxiety for years, and I used to have panic attacks as well. Like, I would be out with my mom, my brother, and literally have a panic attack in a store. And it was so bad. One time we were in the mall, they and I don't know, they just couldn't deal with it because, my panic attacks affect other people around me. And, it caused a scene, it caused people looking, because I was like literally having a severe panic attack. And I had anxiety for years. And I wouldn't say, I don't know if that's particularly associated with, I wouldn't say that's particularly a characteristic of either syndrome, but I would say that people with certain medical conditions, or disabilities, like anxiety, that's common to have, very common. Anxiety is associated with a lot of stuff. So yeah, I had that. Yeah, that's a whole nother video, let me tell you. I'm gonna talk about it. I actually need to get on that. I just like reminded myself that video has to come. That video has to come pretty soon, because that's a whole thing. I'm gonna take you through my preteen years to my teenage years to when my life was in shambles. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. This is a really, really nice day. I think I'm gonna go inside and just like relax. But yeah, if you like this video or can resonate with anything that I said, or even if you don't, I would encourage you to give me a thumbs up on this video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to connect with me and follow me on my journey of living with a rare disease, because that's what I'm doing. In this chapter of my life, I'm almost 30 years old, and I'm trying to live with myself pretty much. At this point, I'm trying to make sense of everything, to be honest. I'm trying to find some peace and make sense of everything, because my life has been crazy, and it seems to keep getting crazier. And yeah, if you want to learn more about growth disorders, then I would tell you to look in the description box at the end of this video. It's in the description, and it's going to be links to where you can learn about growth disorders. So healthcare sites is gonna be links there, so I'm gonna drop that down, and you guys click on that if you want to see all of the symptoms of Noonan Syndrome. There you go. All right.